Hey, Alan. I know I caught you with your mute on.
Hey, Don, God bless you guys. Long time you no see me. I no see you.
Yeah, too long.
Where's
Glad
my
you
picture at? How come I ain't got a picture on there? Oh,
there it is.
you do. I got a
There.
picture there.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. Yeah, I got my hair tied up. You like that?
Oh, that's cute. A man bun.
Oh, and I can't stay on long. I just
Okay.
got in a few minutes ago and I got to get up early. Just drop in to say hi, and I'm sorry I haven't been here. I miss you guys.
Oh, we miss you too, Alan. Maybe someday you can get back here and do some more Romans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday? What's going on Sunday?
I said some
Oh, Sunday.
SOME. You are tired, aren't you?
I'm exhausted. It was a long day today, crazy. I had a delivery. Oh, this I I'll tell you, I'm sure thankful for God. You know, I pray every morning, hedge of protection, watch over my driving. Well, He watched over me today. I had a load that was like 1,300 pounds, and I'm driving the small truck, and I had to place the pallet in the middle and sideways. And I'm driving down the road, and this lady in front of me is driving slow and kind of moves over to the right. Wasn't going no more than 20, 25 mile an hour. And she kind of moves over to the right, and I'm figuring she's wanting me to pass. Well, I commenced to pass, and she commenced to make a U-turn. So it's throw on the brakes and swerve over to the left. And she's kind of looking at me like I'm crazy. Look, lady, you're the one that, and all of my cargo, they stacked the two boxes on top of each other, like 700 pounds each. And it slid off of the pallet and slid forward, and they wouldn't accept it. I was right around the corner from the delivery. They wouldn't accept it because they said it was off the pallet and damaged. Now, I called my boss and told him what happened. He said, well, I'll call you back in a few minutes. I drive away and I back up to a telephone pole and I grab the strap and the chain that was in the truck and I maneuvered it back to the telephone pole, and I took the strap and put it around the first piece of cargo and hooked the chain around the telephone pole, pulled and then locked it all down, pulled forward a little bit to readjust the top box. I did it to the bottom box and then pulled it to the back end of the truck. So enough to where I could get the pallet jack under it and turn it in a way where they can pick it up, and they accepted it. Yay! Everybody say yay! There was no accident. Nobody was hurt. And I got my cargo delivered.
Wow. Praise God.
My cat's still missing. I didn't tell you guys that. I brought my cat home. Well, this is going on the third week. And for like 2 weeks, he's loving the place. Caught his first mouse, brought it to me and let me know. Look, he's had this look on his face, his tail sticking straight up in the air. Look what I got. Having a blast. One morning I left and came back and he was gone. And this is the third week. Been praying every day. Father, I want my kitty cat back. Anyway, he's watching over him. Told him to send an angel, watch over him, send him back home. I'm trying to be patient, but you get to liking somebody and then they're gone.
Yeah.
You guys know how that is, I'm sure.
Very
yeah.
definitely.
Anyway, that's my story. I can't stay on, you guys. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna fall asleep in the next few minutes.
If
I
you
still
have to
got a
go,
few
Alan,
things to
yeah.
do before even.
This ain't the way international. You don't have to explain.
I know, but I miss you guys.
Miss
This
you
has been
too.
a lot of fun to me. hanging out on Monday nights.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Anyway, love you guys. I will try to pop back in when I get have a better opportunity.
Okay, cool.
You all
Okay.
stay as long as you can.
Talk to you guys later.
All right.
Later,
Love
Alan.
you. Love you.
Love you too.
That was
Okay,
really cool.
that was great.
Yeah.
Been a while since we've seen Alan. I really miss him. Great
Yeah.
man. Some pretty
Yeah.
nifty stuff you taught there, Don.
Mhm. Yeah. Now I can go back and read this, and some of it will make a little bit more sense, perhaps.
Yep.
This is really deep. This is awesome.
I
This
mean,
got me started, and so now it's like one of my favorite topics in the Bible, just to read and study, because it's like a big history book. It's all there.
Yep. I love the way you showed in John that this is all happening before the preparation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
there were.
that
Yeah, there were several. There were more than one preparation day. All the days leading up to the Passover were preparation days. And I think they chose the lamb 3 days prior when the ones that they were going to sacrifice. And I think each of those 3 days was called a preparation day, like the preparation day, where they kept the lambs and made sure they didn't get any blemishes on them, and they were just perfect in every way. And so,
wasn't the lamb sacrificed at the exact time that Jesus died?
yes,
mhm.
it's
Yep.
also the exact time that the curtain at the temple
Mhm.
tore.
From top to bottom.
Yeah.
And like Don said last week, this wasn't a small curtain. This was a big curtain.
I think it was like a foot thick or something, 7 inches, or seems I heard somebody say once it was 7 inches thick and woven in a special way, and it was not something you could easily just, it was like a wall.
I wonder how many men it would take to carry it.
I think it had gold woven in it and everything.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, well, it's what separated the priests from the Holy of Holies.
Mm-hmm.
And only one guy got to go into there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
The rope tied around his waist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that something? It was so holy.
Just in case.
I had that if anything happened to him, how would they get him out?
Maybe it happened once, and that's why they did it.
Now that's what you call ingenuity.
Yep.
Yeah. And what is it? And belief in morals and in rules.
Yeah.
And laws of that nature. I mean, they had such a fear of God that there's no way I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
No way. I got the short straw. Nope, not happening.
Remember the Ark? There's a record where
Yeah.
some Philistines run in and pick it up and carry it off. And then the Jews go after it, and some of them just grab it, and they're not Levites, and they kill over dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
They take the ark. The Philistines took the ark, and all their animals died, and all kinds of stuff happened while they had it.
Yeah.
They said, "We got to get rid of this thing." They gave it back.
Sort of like in Indiana Jones, the Germans wanted to After the first
Yeah.
incident, they didn't want it anymore.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Well, it's been an interesting week to say the least, especially if you've been on Facebook.
Mhm.
Everybody and their brother yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're just trying to stir the pot, just like the chief priests.
Yep.
Most of them don't even know why they believe what they believe or say what they say. They're just kind of
Because
going
somebody
along.
somewhere along the way told them this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
what we think, and so they said, "Okay, I'll believe that."
And they say it in a convincing way, and
Wouldn't it be easier just to go to the Word of God and find out what God says about it?
Yep.
Hmm. Hmm.
That'd be too simple.
We heard a great teaching on that yesterday
Yeah.
at John's.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
anything somebody
And
wants to talk
people
about?
back to the scriptures, and people have kind of poo-pooed them, and it's just a book. It's a nice book.
Just the book of eternity.
It's a little bit more than nice.
Hmm.
Well, it's a nice book, but
hmm
it's a nice enough book to base your whole life on.
Yep.
Hmm.
Some of us have. Everybody here, I think.
hmm
Works for me.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
So
what do? Basing my life on that book works for me.
hmm
amen.
Hmm.
Literally too.
So anything else happening with anybody?
The sun was out today.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Oh, it's been for a long time.
Are you guys
Yeah.
ready for this? We had this afternoon blue sky. Oh, it was so long since I've seen a blue sky. I almost stopped the car and went, "Wow!"
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
It was very cool.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a nice day in Nashville.
yeah.
How warm is it in Nashville these days?
Well, let me see here. I'll tell you what the temperature is. Right now, let me see. It's 50 degrees right now, but it was up in the 70s.
I'm jealous.
It's 50 degrees here in Brooklyn too.
I'm very jealous. We had the mid 40s today. Right now we're at 36.
Mm.
34,
Warmer.
34 in New Albany.
Mm.
John, I don't suppose you'd be too upset if my husband and my 4 cats and I showed up at your door one day, would you? And he's choking right now.
Well, I don't know about the cats now.
Trying to jump under the table, huh, John?
Well,
I can't blame him.
but yeah, I'd like to meet you, see you here, and be nice. Have
Just
a
leave the
visitor.
cats at home, right?
Huh?
You just leave the cats at home, huh?
Well, they're nice animals, but I don't particularly care for them.
You're a dog person, right?
Well, yeah, if I was to have a pet, a dog, yes.
I miss having a dog. We're not allowed to have dogs here.
Mm.
I miss having one.
There are a couple of cute cat things I came across today on Facebook. By the way, that was my wife who just snuck by.
I saw her. How was her birthday, by the way? Did she have a nice one?
Yeah, she did. She was real happy. Yeah, it's a great day for her.
Terrific.
She gets to retire now.
Oh, wow.
65.
What does she do?
What does she do? She sits around the house and watches TV.
Mm.
What is she retiring from then?
Oh, she was a cashier at a major grocery chain here.
Mm.
That's a tough job.
Mm.
Yeah. Whole family was involved in retail at some point. I mean, I did retail for most of my life.
Oh.
I tried it for a while. I had nothing but back problems. My
Yeah.
back hurt me, my knees hurt me, my feet hurt me, my ankles hurt.
Mhm.
Stand there so long.
Yeah.
For me, it's my hands because I've worked in the freezers and the dairy,
Oh yeah.
and I have arthritis like you wouldn't believe in my hands. Sometimes I get into these awful positions.
Mhm.
And they can't straighten out easily.
Hmm?
What? And then your fingers can't straighten out properly.
Properly for a little while. I usually have to sit on my hands and warm them up, get them hot, and then I can stretch my hands out to normal.
Mm.
Well, that's what you get for working in a freezer for 20, 30 years.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
And that was with wearing gloves while I was working in the freezer.
Wow.
You can't tell me that wearing gloves in the freezer keeps your fingers all that warm.
It doesn't,
Mm-mm.
especially since you can't wear big, thick gloves because you have to have some dexterity. So you can wear those like brown work gloves. You see them selling in stores. That's what I was wearing most of the time.
Mm.
That's like next to me.
And
Not really made for thermal protection.
no, I will never forget the summer before I went WW, we had to do an inventory in the freezer. And so I took in my sweater and heavy coat and all this, and we were in the freezer nearly all day. And at the end of the day, I came outside and it was 90 degrees out and I'm wearing a sweater and I'm still cold.
Wow.
That's the kind of cold that just kind of gets into the bones and it just stays there for a
Yeah.
while.
Mm.
It took all the way till I got home before I started feeling like I was warming up a little bit.
Hey.
But those were great days.
Mm.
The
During
how's
the-
the weather in Ohio?
Hmm?
I was
It was
asking how the weather was in Ohio.
It was sunny today. Sunny got up about, I think it might have got to 60, but it was bright, brilliant sunshine, real gentle breeze, really, really nice day.
I'm jealous of you guys.
Down in the 30s tonight, though, and probably the 50s tomorrow, maybe the rest of the week. 40s, 50s for highs.
Yeah, we're going to be in the low to
We're
mid
freezing more
40s.
than we weren't now, so that's a good sign.
I actually went outside today.
All right.
Isn't it surprising how much warmer it is in New York now? You're about an hour and a half drive from where I'm at, maybe 2 at the most.
Mhm.
Yet your weather is so much warmer there in New York than we are here in Connecticut.
I think it's because we sit right on the Gulf Stream.
That could
Oh.
And so the water is warm and the warmth comes off the water.
Mm.
I know I used to have the same thing in Massachusetts when I lived up on Cape Cod. We were right there on the Gulf Stream. And it was, you know, they had their days, and of course, that where it was cold and mean and nasty, but for the most part, it really wasn't that bad.
Mm.
In some place like I lived in Colorado, which was by far worse.
Mm.
Yeah, the funny thing about living in Connecticut is that you've got a storm coming across the country and it gets about to New York. And then it either goes way north or way south and hits Long Island Sound or aims up toward Massachusetts. And we don't really get it here.
Mm.
Mm.
And it
Yes.
does that all
It's funny here, the way the weather patterns. Like with Hurricane Sandy, what happened is it passed New York. It went, you know, like past New York, but then it turned around and came this way at New York.
that. Oops, I missed it.
Yeah,
Kind of like the one in Houston.
yeah,
Yeah.
Very similar.
very
Only the one in
similar.
Houston just kind of sat there for a while. That was what really hurt them.
Yeah, but with this storm, we thought we'd seen the end of it, and suddenly it turns around and comes back.
Yeah, double whammy.
Yeah. And when it came back, it was a much milder storm, but it was a direct hit.
Yeah.
Came right up the Hudson River.
Mm.
You're far enough inland to be safe from that kind of stuff, aren't you, Don?
Oh yeah, I mean, like we got to be 5 miles from the water.
Mm. I'm a block and a half away from Long Island Sound.
Mm.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
when
but-
Sandy came through, the ocean, the surge from the ocean came about halfway up our yard.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
my
close.
Wow.
two of my nephews, one lived right on.
Mm.
Do you remember hearing reports about the fires and the fire trucks couldn't get to the fires because it was all flooded?
Yeah.
One nephew lives there, and the other one lives right on in Brooklyn, right on the, practically right on the water, and they got hit really bad.
Mm. Makes you want to move inland.
You know?
Mm.
And here I am. I'm sitting right next to a shelter.
Shelter?
A shelter is just down the street from us. It's a high school.
For
A
things like
shelter, if there's a disaster at the water. Just a second, I have a phone call. Go ahead and talk.
Mm.
Talk amongst your
Hello? Yes, I am. Do you have Facebook? Go to Facebook and let's see.
Mm.
Right. And it should, now you won't get into where we are, but you can see what's going on. We're almost finished. So tell you what, send me an email tomorrow and next week I'll make sure that you get the link.
any conversation that Don would be willing to interrupt fellowship for, I'm listening to.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, hang out on air. Hang out on air. Yeah.
Well, we had
Yeah,
some
that's
data
where you
come
should
through,
go. Unless that's it changes every week.
speaking of weather this past weekend.
What did you have,
Yeah.
John?
I'll tell you what, like I said, just send me
Yeah.
an email tomorrow and from now
They,
on.
they were up in Kentucky more
Monday-
so,
Monday
but
night, about an hour
Clarksville
and a half
got
ago,
hit,
I'll send
which
you
is
the link on where to go. So that you can see it.
which is
No
in
problem.
Tennessee, about
Okay, God bless. Bye-bye.
40 miles northwest of here, got hit with some
With what?
tornadoes. Clarksville, Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't you right there in the mountains?
No, Nashville's in Middle Tennessee.
Mm.
The mountains are in East Tennessee.
Mhm. Then
I thought you
Memphis is
Not that it would
west.
affect you.
Yeah, Memphis is what, Don? I didn't hear you, Chris.
Memphis is west Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was just thinking that you were close enough to mountains that you wouldn't have that problem. I mean,
Yeah, no.
correct.
Yeah, no, that's East Tennessee.
It's a little hilly down there.
Yeah, it sits
Not
in a
like-
valley, Nashville does. It's got some hills around it, but no mountains.
Mhm.
So how many tornadoes did you have go through?
I don't know. I know some hit around Clarksville, Tennessee, and then up in Bowling Green where my son lives, there were some up that way too. And then I saw a little clip, something about in Arkansas, maybe some in Mississippi this weekend.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was just all rain by the time it got to Ohio.
Uh,
I think we got like 5 inches in the last 5 days or 6 days, something like that, last week.
We're so waterlogged. I don't know what we're going to do with more water.
Yeah.
All the reservoirs full by now.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Who was that, Don?
That was Janet Page. She wants to come, she wants to see the fellowship
Uh,
on Monday night.
Cool.
And so I told her to send me an email, and next week I will make sure that she has the link so she can at least see it. And then if she then I'll add, if you want to come, just watch it a couple times, make sure you want to come. And then if she still wants to come, I'll invite her to come.
Mhm.
I know that name.
Yeah, she was at Mike's fellowship one night, I think.
Was she? No, I'm thinking I know that name from Facebook.
hmm.
Probably.
Obviously.
Yeah.
She's probably one of my friends on Facebook.
Probably.
Hmm.
So,
Mhm.
That'd
Well,
be
I think I'm gonna cut out. I got an early day tomorrow.
okay, that's fine.
Hmm.
We can
That's
call
okay.
it a night. Nothing that says we have to go till 10.
Mhm.
As I told Alan, this ain't the way ministry. You don't have these hard, fast rules that you must follow.
Hmm.
Thank God.
Amen.
Hmm.
You're late for a meeting, don't come in.
Really?
Stupidest thing I've ever heard. All right, so to all of you people out there, good night. We'll see you next week.
Night.
Love you.